Hi, Pete Moore, editor of Shooting Sports Magazine. Welcome to Gun Mart TV. What we have here is the new Winchester XPR. It's patently not on Model 70, which is their classic rifle, which they still produce. But this is to get them in the door of what I call the budget rifle. Many companies, Seiko, Ruger, Remington, Savage, make a rifle with a basic synthetic stock. No frills, nothing special, but they're all shooters. And the XPR comes from a long line of this development. Browning, who own Winchester, have a gun called the AB3, which is the A-bolt 3, which is very little to do with the actual A-bolt gun, but what it is, it's the same pattern. And because they own Winchester, as I said, what they've done, this is pretty much an A-bolt 3 build, but they've got certain features on it that the A-bolt 3 doesn't have, and vice versa. But the build is simple. You've got this big solid bolt, 3 lug bolt lift, so you've got round about a 6-degree angle, which is quite nice. Unlike the Model 70, they've come across with a detachable magazine. This is a 3-shot magazine. It's standard. I'm not sure if they'll produce bigger or smaller capacity, or bigger capacity I should say, but it's nice to have it rather than the floor plate system on the Model 70. Pleasingly, the barrel is 24 inches. Most modern guns seem to have 22-inch barrels, sometimes less. The caliber on test is 30-06, which is a personal favourite of mine. And though 30-06, like 308, can be quite flexible on barrel length, with the 30-06, I prefer a longer barrel because it gets most out of it. I've been clocking this gun today with 150 grain and 180 grain ammunition. And 150 grain Extreme, which is a new Winchester brand, is going out 2969 average feet per second, which is pretty damn quick, and generating a very impressive 2960 foot-pounds. Again, enough to kill large African game, obviously not buff, but the plains game. The 180 grain Winchester load I was using is a lot slower at 2760, but it's throwing a heavier bullet, and that is producing again an amazing 3020 foot-pounds of energy. So you can go heavy, you can go light. Controls on the gun. Here you see you have a 2-position safety catch, push forward to fire, pull back for safe. And taking a note from the Browning X-Bolt book, what Winchester have done, this catch here just behind the bolt lever is the bolt unlocking latch. So if the gun is cocked and loaded, you press this down here, if you can see, lift up the bolt and you can unlock it. But with the safety on, it's solidly locked. It's quite a clever idea. The stock free floats the barrel quite nice. The barrel sort of light medium weight. The trigger is quite good. It's firm. It's like coming up against a stop. There's a tiny bit of play and the pull through. It's not to everybody's taste, but I quite like it. The stock shows a reasonable length of pull. As you can see, I'm quite long on the arm, but I've got about 1.5 inches between the butt pad and my elbow joint, so it's good enough for me. The recoil pad again looks like it's off Browning Maxus, and it's very squidgy, to use a technical term, but it certainly soaks up the recoil in what is a pretty sort of serious cartridge. From the box, which I do like about the gun, it comes with a choice of mounts. These are tally mounts. They're basically a one-piece complete ring that bolts straight to the receiver, so you can put the scope straight in there. Or if you don't like that, you want to put something else on the gun, like QDs, they come with 2 Weaver bases, front and rear, on the bridges. So if you want QD, if you want to put a night vision different scope on, you can do it. So I've shot this, it's really nice. It shoots about 1 inch, but what is interesting as well, which is a little aside, is the Winchester Extreme Point, which is their latest load. It's a ballistic tip, but I think, as you can see here, the ballistic tip is huge. I mean, seriously big. It's a non-bonded bullet, so it will break up quite easily. And what Winchester are telling me when I was talking about it is that what they've done, this tip, on any ballistic tip bullet, the ballistic tip is usually half that size, as anybody who knows the design of bullet will know. And the ballistic tip, when the tip breaks up as it hits, there's about 20% striking area from what's left of the bullet. On this, with this massive ballistic tip, that goes up to 40% plus. So it's really hitting very, very hard indeed. They do a whole range of this, 270, 30-06, 308, 243, all your main calibers, and it's their latest round. It might be a little bit destructive on meat, but I haven't shot anybody yet, so I don't know. But pretty much that is the XPR. They're around, I think, the £500 mark, and for that sort of money, they're hard to beat. Anyway, we'll just fire a few shots through it. Mag loads from the front, 3 shot, looks a bit like a Tikka mag or something like that. 3 shots is enough, plus one up the spout, more than enough for deer shooting, or even boar. Mag goes in, ears go on. Okay, stand by. It's a little bit lively, but 30-06 is such a well-behaved round, even in the heavier weights, and it would be my preference over 308. But for the UK, 308 makes a lot more sense. The gun is available in most common calibers, and I really think it adds to the Winchester Browning range, and it also adds to the range of budget-style rifles. So that's the XPR. If you want a decent rifle, okay, it's not that pretty compared to wooden things that won't break the bank. This is really worth looking at.